Frequently derided as Toronto the Good, the center of the universe, the city resented by the rest of the nation for its hubris, arrogance, and vulgar ambition now strives to reconcile its prim provincial attitudes with its world-class aspirations, and to accommodate the conflicting political, economic, and cultural values held by its substantial and disparate populace. Fearful of meaningful change and the demands it might place upon them, civic leaders routinely sabotage every improvement they propose, from increasing property taxes to expanding public transit to building affordable housing. Preening, soulless, authoritarian, insecure, its singular achievement remains its many cinematic impersonations of other greater cities. A chasm yawns between the wealthy and the disadvantaged, the privileged and the marginalized. One can see past its teeth to the back of its throat. More teeth, still more teeth, teeth all the way down. Public services have eroded. The infrastructure is crumbling. Violence and hate are on the rise. A trans woman killed, her body found in a ravine and left unidentified for months. A murdered young woman found in a stairwell, not by the police, but days later by her mother. 10 pedestrians killed and a dozen more injured by a van driver targeting women with his vehicle. 2 people killed and 13 others wounded by a mass shooter one summer Sunday. Cellars are seeping. Foundations are cracking. Rivers are overrunning their banks. What was once buried, pushed underground, is now erupting, bursting up and through. All around the city, past and present entwine like lazy lovers as the last light fades. Along streets and alleys, behind buildings and under bridges, the shadows deepen and darken. Whatever hungers within them cannot be contained.
1984. Sometime that August, a young man named Ryan Wilkes vanished without so much as a whisper. The city was radiant and shimmering in the late summer heat. A thin film of humidity adhered to the skin, attracting smog and grit and inviting midges and mosquitoes to a sticky demise on one's forearms. Ghostbusters dominated the movie screens. A transit strike was looming. The Pope was coming to visit, and Bananarama's Cruel Summer was climbing the dance charts. Ryan was in his mid-20s, sandy blonde, lightly freckled, not quite tall enough or old enough or beefy enough to escape the dreaded twink label. Newly in town from Windsor, Detroit's automotive sister city, with just a few months of metropolitan life under his belt, he mostly bussed tables at a few of the bars, hoping to save some money to enter the design program at the Ontario College of Art. He worked as a bar back at Boots, and also covered off a few times next door at Bud's, stepping in for someone sick or picking up a stray shift or two. He didn't have a steady boyfriend, didn't really date, didn't go to the baths or parks, and rarely to other bars. He was a loner, mostly, estranged from his family, with a flight attendant for a roommate and not many friends. Sometimes he'd have 4 or 5 days off between shifts while his roommate held 2- and 3-day layovers. As a result, it took until Tuesday the 28th for anyone to realize he hadn't been seen since the Friday before. Even then, people assumed he'd just gone back south, or gotten another job, at a straight bar maybe where he could make more money, or shacked up with somebody somewhere, or left for another city, Montreal or Vancouver, or even the States. His roommate wasn't necessarily surprised to see him go. The city may welcome you, but it might not invite you to stay. Still, it was confusing. His room, filled with all his belongings, offered no obvious clue. He wasn't a known drug user, and no illicit substances were found in his room, apart from a few mild sleeping pills he had borrowed from a friend. Suicide was a possibility, though he didn't seem the type. It was only when a garbage collector found a neatly folded stack of clothes in an alley behind a stretch of weary old sex shops and strip clubs and porn theaters, the clothes that Ryan was last seen wearing. Only then was his disappearance called into the police. But with no sign of struggle, no significant leads, and no mother or wife or girlfriend or family to place pressure on them, the investigation was half-hearted at best. Missing gay men weren't what you'd call a priority. The flight attendant roommate and some friends and co-workers